Coach Sean Nahas calling the team's nil-nil draw against the Orlando Pride. Sean, can you just start with your initial thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it's good to get a point. Obviously, after the stretch we've been on, but I felt we had a few chances we need to put away. But it's the story of our season, the inability to score, and not for a lack of a couple of chances. But I thought we defended really well, team defending. I thought the group showed a much better belief in who they are um, against a good side, so tough side. But I think there's a lot more positives to take away from the game than negatives, especially coming off the drubbing we took in Orlando. But yeah, I'm proud of the group. A point against top of the table team. If you ask me, would you take it with 7 players injured? I'd say yeah. So we have players playing out of position. It was a gut check for us, and yeah, I'm proud of the group.
One of those players playing out of position, I think Pickett playing the number 9 role. Seemed like she did a really good shift up front. What do you think of her performance tonight?
Yeah, she wasn't really playing out of position. It was just where we thought that she would help us based on how we wanted to play and her ability to get on the ball and dribble. I mean, it's the first time playing there, so a lot of her movements were really straight, which is not what we want because more than likely you're facing your own goal rather than being on the half turn and now get on the way. So, but I thought she did a good job. I thought out of possession she was better, but when the thing is we have to see what her movements are doing, and then it's the other players that have to expose it, which I don't think we did. We talked about it at halftime, but it's hard to do when you're not seeing things. So, but yeah, I thought she had a good performance overall. I don't think anyone had a bad performance whatsoever. I thought we were really good, top to bottom.
Questions. Alicia, to start.
Sure, another player who played in a different position than normal is Tyler Lucy. Obviously, she's played defense before, but she normally plays as a forward for the Courage. Seems like having that kind of versatility at this point in the season is really important for you guys.
Well, she played there because of need, right? I mean, Ryan with the red card. But Tyler, I've said it to the group after. I thought she stepped up big time, and she'll do whatever it takes for the team. And she was the first little bit you could see there was nerves. Once she settled in, and just we've simplified it for her throughout the week. We didn't try and do too much. We just said, get it, do these types of things, look for these areas. And I thought she did a good job. And her recognition of defending going forward, she's a really intelligent kid. So, yeah, I thought she put on a really good performance for having trained there twice, right? So, but that goes to the credit. That's a credit to the team and the locker room we have. And you'll do whatever it takes for the team. And she did it. And yeah, she helped us get a point, which is always good.
It seemed like once again, Sully and Naomi just really did a fantastic job of walking down that midfield and really frustrating Orlando. What were your thoughts on their performance and their teamwork?
Yeah, I thought Sully disrupted a lot of things. She backtracked in terms of doubling down on Banda when we needed to double down when they didn't have established possession. In the first half, I talked to them about they were just too flat, so they were the same player in position or in possession, but also one ball could beat both of them. So we just talked about when the ball's in certain areas, their movements to open up maybe someone else. But the pair is just a really good pair, and I think what it does is it frees up Ash. The problem is teams man mark Ash right now because of the inability to get behind, and then you could see in the second half it started to open up a little bit more because we were turning them around and Bianca was getting behind, and then it opened up more space for Ash, and then in turn it opened up more space for Sully and Rumi, and the game was a little bit big. So even when they got it, it was just head down and go at them, and it was just Banda and the weak side player, rather than establishing possession where they can get numbers around the ball. So yeah, I thought look, Sully's our leader, and she wanted to stay out that last little bit, but I wasn't willing to risk her. Sometimes I have to be the one for her, for anybody, but I know she wanted to stay, but I just wasn't willing to risk her career almost sometimes you could say, right? So, but yeah, her and Remy were fantastic to me.
There are those times where you have somebody that's headstrong like that it's great, but it's
yeah, look, I know Sully in and out, and I trust her. But when I saw the next play when they were on the dribble, I could see she was favoring it, and I said, "I'm not." My staff said to me, "Sean," I said, "Do it. Let's just get her off, and she could be mad at me for 10 minutes." But she understood, and my number one job, yeah, is to coach, but I also have to look out for the players, and sometimes think differently than maybe how they feel, and her her foot could be facing like, it doesn't matter. She's going to try and play, but I have to make sure that I'm looking out for her too, as a person and as a player. And but she put on a good performance. Yeah, for sure.
How about the performance of Bianca St. George? She seemed to have a lot of activity when the coach was trying to score goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think B's grown a lot in the last couple of weeks. I think we've really tried to utilize her strength. She's not a player that wants the ball at the feet. We want to try and expose the player's space behind, and she's a thinker, and sometimes we put her in situations that may not be conducive for her success. But it's about creating relationships and partnerships. So she's playing with someone brand new behind her, so that's not easy. We would like to expose a little bit more areas, but that takes there's certain qualities in certain moments technically, and she put in some good deliveries. Haley was on the end of them. As I said, we put ourselves in chances to score goals, and at some point we're going to score goals. But I'd much rather have that result and get a draw than have that and drop 3 points and then we're kicking ourselves in the ass again. So, B's starting to find her own, and I think it's she's a really good kid. She's very hard on herself. She works her tail off. She cares, and I want her to continue to embrace the moment and environment, because I feel like she's for the first time in an environment that is trying to help her grow as a player and a person, and you can see it starting to pan out.
Brand new turf. Want to get your thoughts on how it played tonight? What you thought about it?
Thought it was fine, but any questions about turf, you can have to go to Town and Carry.